Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Jen, also known as Blessed Yoga, and today is day 3 of the Blessed to Be at Home series. I hope you're all enjoying it so far. I try my very best to bring you a little bit of something fun and different and something to suit all your at home needs. So today is going to be all about juicy back bends, nice juicy back bends, a little bit of heart opening naturally as we bend backwards. So if anything comes up for you today, things that you feel like you need to release, let them go, surrender to them, don't fight it. That's what yoga practice is so great at doing, letting all that stuff go that we know no longer serves us. So whenever you're ready, we can hop on our mats and get bending. So to start off today, we'll be lying down onto our back. So if you come all the way down, we're going to keep our feet on the floor so our knees face up to the sky. Heel toe your feet about mat distance apart from each other, and then let your knees fall in towards each other. Rest your hands out by your sides, close off your eyes, and just take this time to find your stillness. Find your presence on the mat today. Trying to see if you can really turn your attention from everything that's running through your head, everything that's maybe going on around you. Turn that attention inwards. Notice how you feel today, what kind of mood you arrived in your practice in. What kind of mood you'd like to leave your practice in. And just by taking a few moments out of our day to consciously think about how we feel, how our mind feels, and identifying those emotions can really help us to shift our energy and shift our emotion to a more positive, happier kind of feeling. Now noticing not just how the mind feels, but also how your body feels today. Where you're holding on to tense spaces in the body. Of course, we're going to be focusing on our back. So really just scanning down the spine. All the way from your neck, down between the shoulders. The upper back, middle back, lower back, where maybe your spine isn't touching the floor right now. And then taking both hands onto the space in your belly. Let's start to focus on the breath. See if you can breathe a little deeper. Really visualizing the breath traveling all the way down the back of the throat. Down into the lungs, filling up the lungs, the side of the lungs, the base of the lungs, and then all the way down into those bottom hands. Really breathing air into your hands, into your lower belly. And as you exhale, just feel everything soften back down. Inhale, fill up the lungs, expand. Balloon out the belly, really visualizing almost like you're actually blowing up a balloon. And then as you exhale, let it all go. Feel that sinking, softening sensation, belly button towards your spine. And see if you can just carry on like this, finding your nice steady rhythm of the breath. When you feel ready, you can start to seal off the lips. See if you can just breathe in and out through your nose today. And before we start moving today, just setting an intention for your practice. Maybe something relating to the 3rd and 4th chakra. Because as we backbend, we're going to really activate the the solar plexus, our heart chakra. Naturally, as we bend backwards, we open up the heart space. So whether it's confidence related, self-esteem, love, relationship, and maybe just to bring them together, maybe it's something to do with the love that you have for yourself. The love that you have for yourself nicely ties our third and fourth chakra together. And then once your intention has been set, let's take our arms up overhead, take a big stretch overhead. Draw your arms down into your T shape and then separate your knees from each other. We're going to let both knees fall over to the left hand side, gently drop them down. As you inhale up to center, exhale over to the right side. So we're just windscreen wipering knees from side to side. Inhale to center, exhale to the left. Inhale, center, exhale to the right. And then as you breathe in, take your knees back up to the sky, and we're going to heel to our feet slightly closer together now. Just place your lower back down onto the floor if it's not already. We tend to arch through our lower back as we drop our knees from side to side. So just see if you can place that lower back area down to the ground. Take your hands down by your sides and see if you can walk your heels towards your fingertips, almost so you can tickle the backs of your heels. Don't worry if you can't, just working them as close as you can. Then take a look up, check that your thighs are hip distance apart, so knees shouldn't be touching. There should be almost a fist-sized gap between your thighs. Then as you breathe in, checking that your lower back is curled under, so tailbone tucked, I want you to start to drive through the heels, lift your hips into your bridge pose. Make sure you're squeezing your bum, thighs are wrapping towards each other, almost like you're trying to squeeze something between the thighs. Take a big breath in, really squeeze up. And then as you exhale, slowly start to lower down, lowering one vertebra at a time. From here, we're going to squeeze our knees in towards our chest, give them a good hug in. As you exhale, drop your feet back down, hands back down. We're lifting straight back up into our bridge pose. Lower back is tucked under, so we're not arching through our spine. We're using the strength of the glutes to drive us up and to bend slightly through the lower back. And this is what we're going to start to realize today. A lot of our back bend kind of strength and stability often can come from the strength of our core and our glutes, which is included in our core. As you exhale, slowly lower down one vertebra at a time, knees in towards your chest, squeeze in. As you exhale, feet come back down, hands down. We'll do one more like this. Drive up, squeeze up, starting to warm up that lower back area, warm up the legs, the glutes. One more breath in. And as you exhale, slowly roll down onto your back, knees in towards your chest. Give them a good squeeze in. And then taking hands underneath the knees, we'll start to rock and roll forwards and backwards, massaging the spine until we come all the way up to a cross-leg position. Let your knees fall away from each other. Grab a hold of your knees. As we breathe in, we're going to puff out the chest, roll our shoulders back behind us, and really almost pull on your knees to pull your chest forwards, creating this kind of dip in our back. As you exhale, rounding through the spine, chin to chest, we do the opposite kind of cat-like movement, hanging off our knees, pushing our shoulder blades out our back, creating a C shape with the spine. As you inhale, drawing your chest forwards, pulling on the knees, squeezing your shoulder blades together behind you, and creating an arch through the spine. As you exhale, rounding chin to chest, arching, letting shoulder blades fall away from each other on your back. As you inhale, arching, pulling. Let's go for one more round. Really actively try and pull your shoulders back behind you to create a nice bit of space across your chest. As you exhale, rounding chin to chest, and then coming up to a neutral spine, sweeping arms up overhead. And as you exhale, start to fold forwards, hands come down to the floor. Try to relax your head and neck. And it really doesn't matter where you are in your fold today. Just be patient with yourself. Lift the chest. And as you exhale, try to creep a little further forwards. 2 more breaths here. And whether you're up here or you're all the way down flat, we're working on the same kind of movements. As you inhale, really try and straighten through your back. And as you exhale, fold, hinge a little deeper over your thighs. Last breath in. Deep breath out. And then slowly walking fingers back towards you. Sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to take our feet out to the sides behind us. We'll come over into our cat and cow. Tabletop position to start. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And as you inhale, begin to drop your belly, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, and slight look up. So it's basically the same as what we just did sitting down, but this time we're on hands and knees. As you exhale, pushing around chin to chest, really try to separate the shoulder blades. Inhale, lower the belly, lift the chest, roll your shoulders back. And as you exhale, pushing around. And you might start to feel, as we move through these back bends today, that you feel a little bit vulnerable in the chest space. There's something about really opening up the heart that can make you feel this vulnerable kind of feeling. But just taking time today to surrender, to know that you're safe in your practice. And this is the perfect time to let go of anything that you're holding on to that doesn't serve you, that's fear-based instead of love-based. Let's exhale, pushing around. And then coming to a neutral spine. Making sure wrists are under shoulders, knees are underneath hips still. We're going to send our right hand forwards, extend our left leg back behind us. Strong through that left foot, so toes are flexed, pulling up your core. As you inhale, I want you to lift your foot a little higher, hand a little higher. So it's a small controlled back bend, still using your core. And as you exhale, elbow to knee, squeeze and tap them together. Inhale, extend, tiny back bend, so hand drives a little higher, foot a little higher. And as you exhale, elbow to your knees, squeeze in. One more like this. Inhale, extend, lift your heel, lift your hand. And as you exhale, squeeze and tap together. We're going to extend our hand and foot behind us. And as we exhale, right hand down, left knee down. Coming straight to the other side. Left hand comes in front, right leg kicks back behind. Strong through your core. It's really important as we bend through our back that we have a strong stability in our core, the front of our core, to really help us protect our spine when we back bend. So that's why we're doing these kind of movements. Inhale, lift a little higher. And as you exhale, elbow to knee, squeeze and tap. Inhale, extend, hand high, heel high. And as you exhale, tap together. Engage your core, actively squeeze your belly. One more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze and tap. Extending hand forwards, leg back. As you exhale, left hand comes down, right knee down. Coming straight to the other side again. Right hand forwards, left leg back. We're going to hold here strong.
And then starting to kick your left heel towards the sky. Bend the left knee, look over your right shoulder, reach back and grab onto the baby toe side of your foot. So your palms should face away from you. We're going to start to kick into our hand, lift the chest, lift your foot high, take a breath in, deep breath out, kick, inhale, exhale to kick, one more breath, and then as we inhale, gently release right hand forwards, left leg back, and as you exhale, take it down straight to the other side, left hand forwards, right leg back behind you. Start to kick your foot to the sky, bend your knee. We're looking over the left shoulder, reach around, grab the outside of your foot, so baby toe side of your foot. And then starting to kick into your hand, lift the chest. You'll see what I mean by the heart openers now when you back bend. Deep breath in, deep breath out, kick a little higher. One more breath. And then as we inhale, hand forwards, leg back. We'll drop our hand down, knee down, tuck our toes under and press all the way up and back to downward facing dog. Really sending the hips back. Soft bend through the knees, pressing your chest back towards your thighs. If you'd like to, please feel free to pedal out through the legs. Dropping one heel down at a time, soft, slow pedals. And then pausing, looking forwards to the top of the mat. We're going to step forwards, right toes, left toes. Staying in your fold, relax your head, relax your neck. And as you inhale, slowly rolling all the way up to standing, letting the head and the neck be the last thing to lift up. As you inhale, sweeping up overhead. As you exhale, take your hands to heart center, close your eyes, press your thumbs into your heart space, and just take a moment here. Sometimes it can feel a little bit intense, opening the heart space, as I said. So be kind to yourself, let your body feel what it wants to feel. If you need to have a cry, have a cry. I've cried in plenty practices before. So don't feel silly if that's what you need to do. Let's inhale, sweep our arms up overhead. As you exhale, I want you to cactus your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Focus on lifting through the chest. Start to squeeze your bum. And this is kind of the premise for all of our back bends. I always want you to focus on lifting the chest and bending from the top of the back and down, not into your lower back like this. Can you see the difference? Inhale, lift the chest, lean back from the top of your back, rather than this. You really want to do your back bends with a lot of control, with a lot of strength through the glutes, through your back, not just dumping into the lower back. So let's do 3 cactuses together, focusing on this. Exhale, cactus, squeeze your shoulders, lift your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift the chest, lean back from the top of your back, squeeze your bum. Inhale to reach up. One more, cactusing, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, bending from your upper back, middle back, and then the lower back. And then as you inhale, reach up. Exhale, big dive forwards, folding down. Relax your head, relax your neck. As you inhale, come up halfway into your half lift. And as you exhale, hands plant down, step back into your high plank upper push up. As you inhale, rock forwards, drop the knees, and we're going to lower all the way down onto our belly and chest, like a tricep push-up. Inhale, low cobra, roll the shoulders back, squeeze into your bum. As you exhale, slowly lower the chest. Hands come wider than the mat. Inhale, lift up. Keep your shoulders out of your ears, so we don't need to straighten the arms all the way and be like this. We want to roll the shoulders back. If that means a bend in the elbows, that is fine. Take one more breath here. Squeeze your bum. Feel how that helps you. And as you exhale, slowly lowering your chest down to the ground. Hands underneath shoulders. Tuck your toes under, and we're going to press all the way up and back to downward facing dog. Hips up high to the sky. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you want to drop your heels a little bit closer to the ground. Inhaling. Exhale. Press your chest a little further back. One more breath. And then looking forwards to the top of the mat, step forwards, left toes, right toes. And as you inhale, we're going to roll all the way up to standing, slowly, slowly. Taking arms up overhead, big reach up. And as you exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep up overhead, maybe taking a little back bend from the chest first. And as you exhale, big dive forwards, fold down. Stepping back, left toes, right toes into your high plank. Either dropping the knees and lowering that way, or follow me. Inhale to shift forwards. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale into your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press up and back. Take a moment here, breathe in. And as you breathe out, I want you to roll all the way back into your high plank, holding here, hips lower than before and in line with the body. As you exhale, drop your knees down, and we're going to lower all the way down onto our belly and our chest. From here, we want to take hands as wide as our mat width apart. Take the tops of our feet down to the floor and press your big toe down into the ground. So your tops of your feet are stuck down on the floor. As you breathe in, keep your chin tucked, squeeze your bum, and we're going to lift our chest away from the floor, lift our arms up, squeeze our shoulder blades together. And you really want this powerful lower back lift to be from the glutes. So keep squeezing, don't lift your head too much, we don't want to crunch into the back of the neck. And then as you exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to add a little bit of something funky onto it. So as you inhale, squeeze your bum, lift up. Then reach your arms up overhead. See how that makes it harder. Take your hands back to cactus, lower back down. So the breath goes like this. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, reach out in front. Inhale, back to cactus. Exhale, lower the chest. Oh, it's a bit fiery. One more. Inhale, lift the chest. Hands reach out in front. Inhale, back to cactus. Keep your bum squeezing, legs engaged. Exhale, lower down. And just take this moment to give your hips a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. Release the lower back. Now we're going to do 3 more similar to this, but this time we're adding in the legs. So, as you inhale, lift the chest, squeeze your bum. And as you reach your arms out ahead of you, I want you to lift your feet. Make sure you're squeezing your bum the whole time. Reach and lift. Oh, we're flying. Keep the toes lifted, hands back to cactus. And as you exhale, lower the chest, lower the legs. 2 more. Inhale, lift the chest first, so we've got a strong base. As we reach out, lift the toes. Exhale, legs stay where they are. Squeeze your shoulders behind you, cactus. Exhale, lower down. Last one like this. We're getting really strong in our lower back right now. Inhale, lift the chest, lift your arms. Reach out ahead of you, lift the legs. Bum is squeezing. Exhale, cactus. Lower the chest, lower the legs. Give your hips a good wiggle from side to side. And then pressing all the way back into your child's pose. Hips come back towards your heels. And just take this time to release any tension build up in the lower back, the middle back. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly rising up. We're all going to meet in our downward facing dog, so tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, chest pressing back. Looking forwards to the top of the mat, I want you to step forwards with the left toes between your hands. Drop the back knee down. As you inhale, reach up into your low lunge, checking your front knee isn't riding over the front ankle. As you breathe in, reach a little higher. As you breathe out, we're going to cactus our arms, squeeze our shoulder blades, and bend from the upper back. So same thing as we did when we're standing. Lift the chest, reach back. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead and try and straighten through the back again. As you exhale, cactus, lift the chest. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus, lift the chest, squeeze your shoulders. Inhale, reaching back up. As you exhale, hold here now. We're going to change the breath. This time as you inhale, I want you to cactus, lean back. As you exhale, push in front of you, round through your back like a cat and cow. Push away. Inhale, cactus, open up. Exhale, round, push away, chin to chest. Inhale, cactus, open. Last one, exhale, pushing around like a cat pose. And now as you inhale, reaching up overhead. As you exhale, we're going to try and take our fingers down to the floor. So you might not get all the way there. Keep bending, keep squeezing your bum. Maybe your fingertips touch the floor. Lift the chest. If they don't worry. And then slowly tucking your chin to your chest, wherever you are, hands down to the floor, frame your front foot. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step all the way back into our high plank, drop our knees down, and then I want you to walk your hands ahead of you, coming into your puppy pose. Press your chest down towards the floor. Either trying to take your forehead down, or maybe you look forward and try to take your chin down to the floor. If you feel like you're falling forwards like I am right now, your arms are probably too far ahead of you. You want your hips to be completely stacked over your knees. One more breath in and out. Melt your heart space down. And as you inhale, start to send your weight forward. Lower your belly and chest all the way down to the ground. Give your hips a little wiggle. And then taking your elbows underneath your shoulders, hands down on the floor, untuck toes if they're tucked, holding your Sphinx pose. And this is a great moment to catch your breath again. Often when we open up the heart, it makes our chest race, so our breath gets a little bit shorter. So just take this time to catch your breath. Come back to that steady pace of breath we found at the beginning of our practice. Making sure you're squeezing your bum. We're going to press into our hands, lift our elbows, keep the chest lifted. As you exhale, lower your elbows back down, forearms back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Good. One more. Inhale, lift. Gentle back bend. Sometimes you get a bit of a click here in the lower back just to release it. As you exhale, lower elbows back down. Taking them out to the sides. Again, wiggle your hips from side to side. Rock them slowly over. And then taking your hands underneath your shoulders, we're going to tuck our toes and press all the way back into our downward facing dog. Hips up high to the sky. We're going to come straight to the other side. So when you're ready, looking forwards, stepping between your hands with your right foot. Drop the back knee down, untuck the back toes. As you inhale, sweeping up into your low lunge, hold here. Big breath in, reach. And as you exhale, cactusing the arms, make sure you're squeezing your bum, leaning back. Inhale, reach back up, try and flatten your back, which might mean coming out the front knee just slightly. As you exhale, lean into it, lift the chest, and reach back up as you breathe in. One more, exhale, cactus, lift the chest. Inhale, reaching back up. Changing the breath, take a big exhale. As you inhale, we're going to cactus, again lift the chest. This time as you exhale, push away from you, chin to chest, round through the back. Inhale to cactus. Exhale to round. Inhale, cactus, open. I think I've said cactus about 100 times today. I'm so sorry. And as you exhale, push and round. Really nice. Taking arms up overhead. And as you breathe out, lean into the front knee. See if you can take your hands to the floor. Fingertips tap down. Lift through your chest. Squeeze your bum. One more breath. And then gently walking hands back. Frame your front foot. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. We're going to step back into our high plank and lift our hips straight away to our downward facing dog. Really nice. Take a moment. And then looking forwards to the top of the mat, tiptoe all the way forwards, slowly, slowly. And just take this time in your forward fold to relax the head, relax the neck, bend into the knees. And then as you breathe in, rolling yourself up to standing, lift the head, lift the neck, drop your shoulders, and just take a moment here if you'd like to close the eyes off. Come back to your breath. When you start to feel ready, gently blink open the eyes. We're going to reach up overhead. As you exhale, big dive forwards, folding down. Look between your legs, take a really big step back with the right toes, landing high up on your toes. Heel is lifted. Look forward like a runner's lunge. And as you inhale, reaching up overhead into your high lunge. I want you to start to press your right heel down towards the ground. Try to keep your hips square. We're going to interlace our fingers, leaving just our first finger out. As you inhale, reach up really tall, squeeze your biceps into your ears. And as you exhale, imagine like you're drawing a line on the ceiling, leaning back. Press your heel down, helps with stability. And then as you inhale, Reaching back up, open up the fingers into your warrior two, bend into that front knee. Taking time to find your alignment here. The front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot, and we're bending our front knee over the front ankle. As you inhale, reach forwards, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Reaching up and back, don't lose that bend in the front knee. As you exhale, forearm to thigh, reach your right hand up and over into your side angle. Inhale back to warrior two. Hands are going to cartwheel down, frame your front foot. And as you breathe in, kick your left leg all the way up to the sky into your three-legged down dog. From here, I want you to point those left toes, start to bend into the lifted leg, and point your toes over to the right-hand side. So you're opening up that left hip into a scorpion tail. Take a moment here. If you feel like you can, you're going to start to pivot on the standing leg. Take your left toes down to the floor. These right toes point forwards. We're high up on the left toes. And then we're going to reach up and back into our wild thing. Reaching up, pressing into the right hand. And then when you feel ready, left hand comes back down. We lift the left toes and kick back up to the sky. Left toes dropping down, knees dropping down. Press your hips back to your child's pose. Take this time to reset. Come back to the breath. Slowly lift yourself back up. We'll tuck our toes back under, lift up and back to downward facing dog. Pressing your hips up high, chest back. Look forwards to your hands, take a big step forwards, right toes, left toes. And as you inhale, rolling back up, sweeping up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming to the other side, big sweep up. Exhale, dive forwards, fold down. Look between your legs. This time we're stepping back with the left toes. Big step back, landing high up on your tiptoes. As you inhale, look ahead of you. Reach your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, leaving the first finger out. Drop your back heel down for stability. And then leading with the chest, we're going to start to lean back, drawing a line on the ceiling. It doesn't matter if you fall here. Big reach back. And then as you exhale, coming to a neutral spine, opening up into your warrior two, making sure that front heel is in line with the arch of your back foot. Arms in your T shape. As you inhale, reach forwards, flip your front palm, backhand rests on your thigh, reverse your warrior, reaching up and back. As you exhale, forearm to thigh, reaching your left hand up and over. Squeezing your bum, lifting your chest towards the sky. As you inhale, back to warrior two, hands cartwheel down, frame the front foot, high on the back toes. We're going to kick our right foot all the way up to the sky, lifting up, toes pointed. Start to bend into your top knee. Point your toes over to the right hand side, opening up through the hips, stacking one on top of the other. If you feel like you can, you start to twist on the standing foot, so your left toes turn out, drop your toes to the floor, lift your chest open towards the sky. Now our left toes point forwards, we're high up on the right tiptoes, and we're going to reach up and back behind us. Wild thing, squeeze your hips up high. As you exhale, right hand down to the floor, lift your right knee into your chest and kick it back up to the sky. Right toes lower, knees lower. Press your hips back to your child's pose. take this time to reset. When you're ready, slowly lifting up, take your hands onto your thighs. Just take a moment here. Drop your shoulders. And then lifting up onto your knees, we'll tuck our toes under. Just look down and check that your thighs are hip distance apart. Strong tuck under with the toes so we've got a good bit of support. And then I want you to take your hands onto your hips. I've got my mic pack in the way. Let me just find my back. And then with your thumbs, I want you to find that squishy part of your back. So it's just above the coccyx where all of a sudden your back goes a little bit soft, and it's that lower back kind of area. I'm having some technical difficulties with my mic pack. There we go. And then grabbing a hold of your hips, press into those squishy parts with your thumbs. Squeeze your elbows towards each other to automatically lift the chest. Now I also want you to squeeze your bum so your hips come forward. So naturally we're a bit like this. I want you to squeeze your bum, squeeze your hips forwards. As you inhale, begin to lift the chest and slowly start to lean back, squeezing your bum the whole time. So you're leading with the chest. We go up and back, almost like we're trying to do the high jump. Squeeze your elbows together, squeeze your bum. And then leading with your chin to your chest, slowly drop your heels down towards your feet. You can untuck them and just take a minute to reset. This is our camel pose. Well, it's at least our prep for our camel pose, and it can feel quite intense in the heart space. So maybe if you take your hand onto your heart, you can feel it's racing slightly. Mine definitely is. And then we'll go again. So coming back up, tuck your toes under. We're going to squeeze our bum so our hips drive forwards. Lift the chest, elbows squeeze towards each other, and then we slowly start to bend backwards. Now, option to stay here, or option maybe to try and drop your hand down, find your heel. If that feels okay, we go for the other hand, find your heel. And if you've got them, I really want you to lift the chest, squeeze your bum forwards. Can keep your chin tucked if you prefer, or if you'd like, drop it down. Taking one more breath, tiny sips of air. And then leading with your chin to your chest. Take one hand up at a time, place them both on your heart space. Drop your hips down to your feet, and then lower your chin to your chest, and just take a moment here. Whatever's coming up for you right now, actively make the decision to release it. Choose to let go of the things that don't serve you any longer. Let's go for one more. So option either, number one, keeping your hands to your hips. Option two, you're going to find your heels like we did before. Option three, I'll show you now. So we're going to keep our toes untucked. So it's a little bit of a deeper camel. So taking whatever option you want here, we'll all do the same with our hands first though. Find the squishy part of your back, squeeze your bum, elbows towards each other, and then slowly, slowly starting to lift the chest, drop back. Either staying here, finding your heels with your toes tucked under, and if like me your toes are untucked, you're going to drop one hand down and then the other, find your heel, and then start to open up through the front of the body. Squeeze your bum, squeeze your hips forwards, open up through the chest. Keeping chin tucked or untucked. One more tiny sip of air. And then gently Taking one hand and then the other onto your heart space. Lead with your chin to drop down. Give your hips a wiggle side to side. Take your hands onto your knees and we're just going to arch through our back, reversing that stretch. And then lifting your head, take your feet out to the sides, let your legs come out in front of you, give them a good little shake. And then we're going to take quite a restorative forward fold here. So I want you to bend slightly into your knees. If you've got a pillow close by, you can always place it underneath the knees. If not, just follow like me. We're going to try and lift our chest, straighten our back, reach up overhead. And as you exhale, see if you can find your feet. Relax your head, relax your neck, and just feel that really nice, gentle release in our lower back, middle back. Pulling elbows out to the sides to deepen the bend. And then when you're ready, slowly lifting back up, roll yourself up to seated. We're going to take our feet to the floor, wiggle ourselves a little bit closer to our heels, hands under knees, lift the chest, engage your lower belly, and we're coming into our boat pose. So starting to rock back, see if you can weightlessly lift the toes. So I can really tell I'm using my core here to lift my feet because I'm not actually doing this, leaning back and then lifting, and they feel really heavy. When I use my core, I lean back and they just glide away from the floor. I'll stop talking now so you don't have to hold your boat for so long. Hands out to the sides. Let's just take 2 more breaths together. Keep lifting the chest. As I said, it's always important we strengthen the front of our body whilst we back bend. And as you exhale, drop your toes down, roll all the way back onto your back, reach your arms up overhead, and then drawing your knees in towards your chest, give them a nice big squeeze, hug in. And then just to finish, we're going to take our feet down to the floor. We'll take a couple of bridge poses, and then I'm going to set you up for a wheel pose if it's accessible to you. So making sure thighs are hip distance, hands by your sides, walk your heels a little bit closer. Lower back imprinted into the floor, and as you inhale, lift and drive up. Really squeezing the hips, squeezing your bum. And then if you'd like to, you can lift the heels and really lift through the back of the body. Take a deep breath in. Make sure knees aren't opening away from each other. Deep breath out. One more breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lower down to the floor and drop your heels down. This time we're going to drive up again, lift the hips into our bridge pose. Come up onto your toes, lift the heels, so really squeeze up. And now option to add in what I call robot arms. So your fingertips point to the sky, elbows press down into the floor, and you're really going to push down into the floor to lift your hips a little higher. Really squeeze through the bum, so it's more than just a normal glute bridge now. We're really lifting and squeezing up. Make sure knees aren't flaring away from each other. Keep your chin slightly tucked to your chest. One more breath. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly dropping down, lower back touches the floor. Drop your heels, hands down by your sides. Now, final option, either we're going to take a full wheel pose, which I'll guide you through.
If not, you can come back into your bridge pose, maybe lifting a leg, lift the other leg, just styling it out here, really doing what feels good for you. If you're coming into your bridge pose, you can lift up now. If not, we're going to go into our wheel pose. So fingertips point towards the shoulders and we plant our palms down towards the ground. Then from here, I like to lift up onto the crown of my head because I find it a little bit easier to move from here. So you're going to lift the hips up like you would in a bridge pose and then press into your hands to drop the crown of your head down to the floor. Squeezing your bum like you normally would do in your bridge pose. Press into your fingertips, into your hands, and see if you can lift your head away from the floor, straightening through the arms, pressing your chest towards the face side of your wheel. Squeeze your bum. Try to relax as much as you can here, really lifting, pressing. One more breath. And then as you exhale, slowly lowering back down, try to take the back of your head down to the floor and then lower back drops down. If you're in your bridge pose, you can come down too. We'll all take our knees in towards our chest, give ourselves a really nice big hug and a squeeze in. Gently rocking from side to side, massage that lower back. I'm a little bit restricted with my mic pack, but you know what I mean. Just get into that lower back area, press it down into the floor. And then to finish, we'll take a nice twist, extending the left leg out in front of you. Arms to your T shape and drop your knee all the way across you to the left. Trying to soften your shoulder down, soften your knee down. Stay with the breath. And really trying to just leave behind anything that may have happened or may not have happened in your wheel pose if you tried it. And just come into the present moment, back into the twist. If you find yourself beating yourself up in your brain or getting a little bit of frustration, seeing if you can just come back to the present. It's in the past now, it doesn't exist anymore. All that exists is this nice, comfortable, twisted, detoxing position. As you inhale, lift back to center, squeeze your knee in towards your chest to release any tension in the lower back. And then switching, left knee up and in, extend your right leg out long. We're going to take our arms back to our T shape and drop our knee across us to the right. Noticing if one side feels particularly tighter. I know for me, this is my very tight side. So just coming back to the breath, using it to help you drop that right knee. Drop that knee over to the right. Breathing into the side of the body. Breathing out, softening down. Let's take one more breath together. And then as you inhale, coming back up, squeeze the left knee in towards you. Let's take the right knee up as well for one final hug in. Maybe taking the crown of your head to your knees to really squeeze into a little ball. And then releasing, letting your legs come all the way down to the floor. Give them a shake, hands by your sides. Roll your shoulders down your back. And just coming back to your stillness in your Shavasana. Seeing if you can release any kind of hold or control you still feel like you need to have over the body or the breath. As your chattering thoughts start to come up now, as they always do, when the body is still, the mind seems to rush. So just seeing if you can really quiet that voice in your head, that little nattering voice. Letting thoughts go just as quickly as they arose. And then taking one hand onto your lower belly, one hand onto your heart space. Let's take a big breath in, fill up the lungs, fill up the lower belly. And as you exhale, letting everything soften back down. Inhale, blowing out the air in the chest, air into the lower belly. Exhale to soften down. Taking one more breath in. Fill up the lungs, fill up the lower belly. Exhale, soften. And then taking arms up overhead, take a really big stretch out long, pointing fingers from toes, toes from fingers. And then rolling through one side, just using your hands to gently lift yourself up to a cross leg at the top of your mat. If you're using your eyes to help you lift up, just reclose them once you're in your cross leg. And then as you breathe in, sweep your arms up overhead, take a big reach up. As you exhale, take hands to heart center and really press your thumbs into your heart space. Take this moment to truly thank yourself and your body for coming to practice. Take this moment to remind yourself of that intention you set at the beginning of your practice, whether it was something to do with self-love, whether it was ditching any negative kind of self-talk, any lack of self-belief, and just choosing in this moment before you get up off of your mat to leave behind anything that you know does not serve you, does not serve your highest good, does not help you reach your highest potential. Choose right here, right now, to leave it on the mat. To get up out of your practice today without it, feeling a little bit lighter and a little bit more loving. Let's all bow our heads together, bow our chest. The light in me honors the light in every single one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to practice with me today on day 3 of Blessed to Be at Home. I hope you enjoyed your nice juicy backbend kind of feelings, the heart openers. And if you leave here feeling a little bit more light or loving, then my job here is done. If you like this video, as always, please give it a like. Subscribe if you've just stumbled across my channel. I appreciate all the love and support, and I hope to see you back here on the mat tomorrow for day 4 of your Blessed to Be at Home challenge. Loving all of you and wish you a good rest of your day. Mwah.